Okay, good afternoon everybody, welcome back to Meadowlands Reserve, home of Howick softball. Final being played of the Bev Smith Memorial between the Magpies and Waitakere Bears. Lucky enough to have a commentator doing this game for you, so you won't have to listen to my dreary voice. I'll run the iPad, I'll let her introduce herself to you. But it looks like we're just about to get underway, so we'll hand these the Magpies there.
Yeah, but number one is an error higher. Number one is an error. And there's a bunt ball called foul. Kaleo had a nice lead out to the second. And we're just about to set up for another. On strike on number 89, Magpies. It's about set up, got Kaleo on one. Tyler pitches in another setup, and there's a steal with a safe on second. Thank you. All good. Now Lisa Malden is setting up for her bat. Third. It's a foul ball going out east. Kaleo on second. Lisa Malden's got 2 strikes and 1 ball. The catcher slightly fumbles the ball. We've got Kaleo now on third. Swapping the balls over. With Kaleo now on third base. Tyler sets up for another pitch. With that ball. Two balls, 2 strikes. Tyler goes for another one. Lisa sets up. It's a strike, which is hit foul ball. Landing just in the front of the diamond there. Tyler Morrison's had a great tournament. She's been pitching most of the games here for Bears today. We've already had 3 games, so I'm sure they'll be quite tiresome, especially in this hot sun. Tyler sets up for another pitch. Lisa Malden smacks it out to left field with a catch from Tegan Bromhead. She throws it in and gets Kaleo into home for Magpies' first run. Bears have just asked if Bears have a slight confusion to see that there was left on an early pitch, but it was ruled out by the umpires. Tegan sets up for a first pitch against Stephanie Terexa. She gives it a nice hit out to right field. She rounds 2. She comes into third base and she's safe on third base. Beautiful hit. She's got the Bears girls running right out to the outfield position. Next we've got coming up is number 11, Shannon Tarongo. And Shannon has taken a strike coming through from Tyler. Shannon checks with her coach in terms of what the next steps are. We do have a third runner on third here. She sets up, nice hit to third base, and catches, tags it out on one. Our third baseman, Stephanie, is still at third base. So that makes it 2 out for Magpies in the first innings. Next we've got up is Sarah Edwards, number 2. Sarah sets up, she's a left-handed batter. Going to see if she's going to slap or hit the ball on this one. Oh, nice ball. Curved onto the edge of the square. Sets up for another pitch. Coming in from Tyler. Nice hit, nice low hit. Straight to second, who now gets it out to an out on one. That's the bottom of the first going into the bottom of the first innings. Welcome back to the final of the Bev Smith. We're now at the bottom of the first with Bears into bat, and number 7, which is Aisha Hooper. Aisha plays second base here for Bears most of the day. It's good to see her reaching out a hand and wishing everybody good luck. In terms of our pitcher, we've got Shannon Tarongo, who's going to be throwing today. First strike is getting pitched, and it is a ball, too high. Setting up for a second pitch. Aisha takes a strike. We're on 1-1. Shannon comes in for her third pitch, and that is a foul ball. Good strong swing actually from Aisha. She's been batting well today. Had a couple of outfit hits and a bunt in the Howick game. Let's see what she does here for the first batter of this tournament. It's another foul ball. So far we've got 2 strikes and 1 ball sitting on Aisha. Shannon pitches in another strike, which is right down the middle, but goes straight through to the centre field, which is Sarah Edwards from Magpies. Beautiful catch. Next up for Bears is Tanil Umatangi. Sorry about that. Here we go. The second batter, and she switches round for a slap, decides to leave it. Tanil sets up again. It's a left-hand slapper. She runs it out, and there's another strike. Shanine's been doing some great pitching today, so if anything, it's going to be good to see what happens on this next ball. Coming down. Yeah, that's another strike. So we've got 2 balls and 1 strike. Just about to start for another. And it's a nice left-hand snap, but it remains a foul ball. 2 sitting on 2 strikes and 1 ball. Slight bit of wind here today at Howick, so when it does get hit out to the right field, it stays really high, so enough time for the outfielders to get underneath that ball. Oh, we've got another one, got a nip, but drop third strike. That means the catcher had thrown to first, but Tanil's just too fast. She gets herself on 1. Kaleo just came up to the umpire to see if there was a nip on that ball or a drop third strike. But Rebecca, the umpire, has said it was drop third. Next batter we've got here is Tegan Bromhead. Tegan's been hitting outstandingly today, and it's up for a foul ball. Protects the plate. Got Tanil sitting on 1. Tanil's got some wheels, so no doubt she'll be taking a big lead to get herself round to second, knowing that Tegan can hit a nice long strong ball. Oh, that was a wide on the corner right hand. Tegan was a bit late in striking there. She's setting herself up again. Squares herself around, comes back and goes for another, but is third strikeout. And Tanil sneaks through to second base. There's a good steal from Tanil there. Nice quick hands, nice quick legs. And the umpires have called that there wasn't a swing on that last strike. There is some confusion at the park here, and the umpires are going to now connect and see where there is an opportunity. I must admit I did actually see a swing, so it'll be interesting to see what happens, what call the umpires do actually make. There has been 3 balls being pitched down. The umpires are coming back to the plate, and Rebecca will make the call. Tegan's the third batter for Bears. So we'll see what the call is. And here we go, we're sitting out for another pitch. She squares around again, hits a fly ball to second baseman, which is Lisa Molden, who catches her. She's out. So that's 2 down for Bears. We've still got Tanil sitting on second. up in the batter's box is Michelle Fletcher, the designated hitter for Bears. And nice high ball where Michelle decides that she wants a piece of that. Big smile on her face. She knows that she probably shouldn't have gone for that. Sits right in the batter's box. And hits a cracking one again to second base. Lisa Molden slightly adjusts it, but gets her out on first. So that's side away for Bears. It's the end of the first innings. Back in a sec.
DeMarini bats are made for the way you play, plain and simple. We've got a bat designed to work for you when it counts. Game time. With 22% stronger carbon fibers, the Paraflex allows for even more precise weight distribution on the CF9 than ever before. We can put the weight closer to the handle for slappers, distribute it evenly along the barrel for contact hitters, or towards power hitters. You should never have to settle for a bat designed for the masses. By building with this stronger composite, we can also use fewer materials. This makes for a lighter swinging bat with a Texas-sized sweet spot.
Rightio, back to the top of the second innings. We've got Ashley Scott, number 19, that's in this batter's box. Strong and athletic. Ashley usually plays catcher, which she is again today. So that ball just came down. Here she goes, she sets up for another one. And we've got Tyler Morrison pitching that down, and she turns around, squares around for a bunt, but doesn't quite get it round to that sweet spot of her bat. Goes off foul. She's going to have to do something here in terms of if she wants to get herself on base. So let's see what she decides. Does she square around for a bunt or give it a good slap? Goes for a good hit, and it is nice. Sails over the Kayla Clark, who's in centre field, and she gets around nicely, safely to second base. Nice hit there from Ashley. It does. The wind is nice. Sits it up really lovely there. So we've got a timeout. Bears have decided that they need to regroup and have a bit of a chat about what their strategy is. Looks like we're going to have another pitcher. So that is Tyler Morrison that is coming off. And we'll just see who they're bringing in. Bringing in for the next lot of pitching. We've got a young one here. Number 21, Hope Maka. Now Hope is actually in the under 15s A team, if you could believe. So let's see how she goes. She's done a couple of rounds here today at Howick, and she's also playing in the 17s for the Bears as well. So quite a talented young thing. She's got a little bit of movement. And today is her debutante day, I've just been told. So this is fantastic for her. Well, she's got a beautiful big smile on her face, and she's pretty stoked that she's out there pitching for the Bears today. Looks like she gets on pretty well with the girls, so that should be good. So Hope Maka. And she's just taking her 5th pitches there just to warm up, so that she is warming her arm over. She feels comfortable. Looks like she's ready to get stuck in. Got some great support there from the girls in the infield. And just to remind you, so we've got Ashley Scott sitting on second base. The next batter that we've got up is number 5, who's playing third base, and that is Freya Bullock. Let's see what Freya does. And she squares around, but then goes for a big hit. Unfortunately, it's a foul ball. Flicks backwards. Freya turns to her coach to see what the call is. Are they going to try and push Ashley round, or are they going to try and bring her in? And she goes for a little hop. Looks like she was going to set herself up for a surprise bunt. Let's see what the next steps are here. Hope Maka sets up for another pitch. And here she comes down. She squares away for a bunt and lifts it back for a slap. So we've got 2 strikes, 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 and 2. Freya sets up here. Let's see what happens. She squares around, goes for a slap, but decides no. She doesn't want a piece of it. So, sorry, my mistake there, team. We've got 2 balls, 2 strikes now. She's smiling, so she obviously wants to hit it. Let's see what the next steps are. Hope pitches the ball down. She stands strong right to third base, has a look, and Ashley gets down to third. So we've got Magpies sitting on safe on first, safe on third. Got some, the Magpies team are quite athletic. We've got some good wheels out here. We've now got Alice Tessie, who I believe is from the States. She is coming up now at left field. Let's see what she does to change the dynamic of this. How's she going to get her around? So we've got a steal that catches by the catcher, throwing down to second base. They've decided to cut that off so that the third runner on Ashley doesn't come home. Surprisingly, I thought I heard a tip on that, but at the end of the day, they've thrown her down. She's safe on second. Let's see what the next steps are. Alice sets up. Oh, there's a bounce that goes past the catcher, and she's out at home, coming home. That was great play from the catcher, and Hope getting in there to tag her out at home plate. So Ashley is the first out, the second innings for Magpies. That was great play there. The young one knows where her position is. Freya's now whipped round to third. Let's see what Alice Tessie does to bring her woman in. And she hits a nice strong hit, nearly takes out her player, but they're both smiling. So let's see what the next steps are here. We've got 2 strikes and 1 ball sitting on Alice Tessie. Bears are hungry to get their second out. Let's see what happens on the next pitch. Oh, a change-up, which she strikes at. Beautiful, beautiful piece. And that is it. Again, a little bit of confusion. As it bounced, I think they believe that it was a dropped third strike, so they have thrown it down to first base. So that's 2 out now for Magpies. Bears will now be hunting for their third out. We've got Vivian Ma, who's playing right field and is number 22. Vivian is also a left hand, so let's see if she slaps the ball in to get her teammate Freya Bullock in. Winds up. Oh, and the outside play. There's a nice leave there from Vivian Ma. Let's see, we've got a wind up. It's a strike right down the middle. It's a little bit high, but still easy enough to bat. So we're sitting on 2 balls and 1 strike. Let's see what Vivian does in order to get her man home. Comes round for a squaring bunt, and she has been called on a strike. That's it. She has to be a little bit quicker if she wants to get onto that ball. This little 15-year-old is definitely nipping the ball in there. Got 2 balls, 2 strikes going on here for Vivian Ma Magpies. And she hits it just over the pitcher's head and into shortstop's hands. That is the end of the top of the second. We'll be back in a sec.
The next big thing for Easton Fast Pitch has arrived. The Ghost has revolutionary double barrel technology with 2 full-length barrels constructed to eliminate all vibration. The collision between the outer and inner barrel creates an explosive sound unlike anything you've heard before. The softer outer barrel has the lowest compression in the game for maximum performance.
Radio, welcome back. We are at the top of the 3rd innings. And the bottom of the 2nd innings, I should say. Excuse me on that one. And we now have Rebecca Bromhead, number 9, up to bat. Rebecca is number 5 in the batting slot. Let's see what she's got. Oh, she hits it straight back to the pitcher. Kaleo has a great slide, picks it up, and throws it in. But great stuff for Rebecca Bromhead. She has made her way to first base. So next we've got up is Cheeky Meatball. We've got Kayla Clark coming in at second batter. Let's see what Clark does. See if she bunts her teammate round, or if she gives it a good. Oh, she's bunting. Goes high and caught by the first baseman, which is Stephanie Terexia. Great catch as she landed on her stomach getting that. So Kayla Clark is first out for the Bears there. That was an outstanding play. Obviously Rebecca Bromhead still standing on 1. When it's a fly ball, you want to be holding up. Okay, next in the batter's box we've got Aroha Noana. And, oh, she wants to go for the strike. It's been called on her, but she held her hands back. Let's see what she does for the second ball that comes in for Aroha. Shireen Tarango sets up and she goes for it, but it's a bit too late, and she's batted it out to foul ball out to the right hand side of the diamond. So Aroha sits now on 2 strikes. She jumps back in the batter's box. Let's see what she does to get her teammate Rebecca Bromhead around from 1. Here we go. Setting up. Oh, hits on the ground just before the home plate, so she leaves it. Nice leave there for Aroha. Just getting an additional ball being thrown in. Hitting the ground, it's probably got a bit of dust in it. So let's see what Aroha does. We've got 2 strikes and 1 ball. In comes, oh, she goes for a low hit. Third base gets it to second and in. So that was a nice play there by Freya Bullock, getting that speed ball round through to Lisa Molden on second. So, do they hear that? Oh, okay. Cut across. Designated runner, Michaela Cross, who's got the wheels. She's been in the under-18s, and I think she's in the under-23s as well. So, oh, slight rise ball, but going too high. Some good discipline here on Taylor Maxwell, number 17. Michaela's sitting on 1. And she goes for the sneak. She throws down and she's safe on second. That's what happens when you're young and fit. She's got some good wheels and she's fast. So she's sitting there now on second base. Michaela Cross. Taylor Maxwell is about to set up again. Let's see what she does to get her woman home. There's a ball sitting there for Evie Maxwell. So does she hold her bat up and wait for a walk down to 1? Or does she get stuck in and give it a swing? Let's see. Oh, she gives it a swing. And we've got a pick off on third base. And she's made it. Once again, Michaela's cross wheels just outdo Magpies. Beautiful play. Beautiful pick off by Ashley down to Freya Bullock. We're now in scoring position for Bears. Let's see what they do next. Taylor Maxwell sets up again. She's got more balls than she does strikes on this one. And sets up. Oh, it was a beautiful strike. Low, but definitely attainable. So we're now sitting with a full house. It's crunch time for Taylor Maxwell. Let's see what she does next. Ball comes in. She hits it. Fly ball out to left field. Catches it nicely. So that was Alice Tessie that catches out Taylor Maxwell. Change of the innings. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back. We are top of the third innings. Now we have Kaleo Aldridge, which is top of the batting order for Magpies. We've actually had a change, so we've taken off Hope Maka, who was pitching in the last innings, and we've put in Michelle Fletcher, an oldie but a goodie, eh? She's back in. We've had 2 balls that have come down Kaleo's way, so she's just being patient in the batter's box as a lefty, just to see what Michelle will bring down to her. Pitches in. Oh, that looked like a nice piece. I think it might have been 2 outside. Aldridge sitting on 3 balls. Let's see what the next step is here. Let's see if Michelle can pitch a nice one back. Yes, that was beautiful. It would have been a nice one actually, but Kaleo decides that she wants the base instead. Backing up. She's back into the box. She's got 3 balls and 1 strike. Let's see what Kaleo does with this one. And it's 4 balls. So once again, Kaleo gets on first base. Now there's only 1 run in the game here, and that is actually Kaleo. So we're in a really good position to see what Lisa Molden does to obviously push her teammate Kaleo around. Michelle sets up for a pitch. Again, we've got quite a few left-hand batters. She's got a bubble, and she throws it down for a out on the second, but Kaleo's just too fast. Here we go. Kaleo's now on second. Lisa Molden looks over to her coach to see what the next steps are. Does she bunt her woman around, or does she have a safe hit to get around? She comes around for a bunt, comes down to the through. Third baseman comes in and gets it out on first. Lisa Molden's just not fast enough to get there. Beautiful bunt put down, but we've got Kaleo now sitting on third base in scoring position. Next batter up, we've got Stephanie Texaria. Let's see what Stephanie does. She had that awesome diving catch here in the last innings. Let's see if she can push it around. Catcher has called time. She just wants to have a bit of a chat to Michelle Fletcher in terms of what kind of pitching they want to be throwing to this girl. Stephanie actually had a really good hit out, if you can remember, to right field. So let's see if she does the same thing. Stephanie's just moved up in the batter's box. Let's see how she goes with this. Ball comes in too high. So we're sitting here now on Stephanie Terexa in the batter's box. And with, beautiful hit up and over Kayla Clark's head, and it's gone through the dead ball zone. So that is a home run there for Stephanie Terexa. She's been batting outstandingly today. I must also correct myself. I see that Lisa Molden also didn't get out on one. She was actually safe. So my mistake, team. I called that a little bit early. So we are sitting now with 4-0 at the top of the third innings. 4. Stephanie, Lisa, Kaleo, and Kaleo got the last one. Here we go. So we've got Shannon, who's the pitcher, number 11, who has just stepped up into the plate here. Yeah? Yeah. Then we've got Michelle. Beautiful hit. But unfortunately, that's a foul ball. So driving that baseline. Shannon really gets her body round. She's got full power, which is great to see. It's just a matter of understanding how she can get it into the field. So Michelle sets up again. Shannon goes low. Just a little plop into foul ball territory once again. So Shannon will be sitting on 2 strikes now. Let's see what she does next, and if there's a nice ball that comes down. Magpies sitting comfortably now. Let's see what they do. So we've got 2 strikes on number 11, the pitcher for Bears. Ball comes down, she hits it. Beautiful hit. Looks like it's going to be over the fence once again, and it is. It's beautiful. We've got another home run for Shannon. That is now 5-0 to Magpies against Bears in the Howick Bev Smith tournament. Right, the next batter that we've got up here is Sarah Edwards. Sarah is number 2, but she is playing centre field. Once again, another left-hander. Let's see what she does in the batter's box. Bears have just taken a timeout so they can have a chat about their next steps. I think what's happening is they're really seeing Michelle's ball and launching it. So we are changing again, and we're bringing Hope Maka back in. Hope Maka is coming back into play as the pitcher for the Bears. It's a real change up today. I like this little Hope. I think she's got great stickability, especially for her first tournament at this grade. She's got a little bit of movement when she winds over, but it's a nice, consistent, solid ball that comes down. So great to see that Bears have got some depth in their pitching lineup. Most teams here really only have 1 or 2, so to have the luxury of 3, it's easy to be able to change them up when you need to. Okay, so we've got Sarah Edwards coming up to bat, another lefty. Let's see how Howick throws down to her. Setting up. A low ball coming in. So Sarah sits on one ball. Comes through for a second pitch. And again, that's an outside ball. She's really got to get used to having a left-hander standing there. She's got to get a little bit closer to her. I think what I understand with left-handers, they feel like the pitching feels like they're going to hit them. So again, a little bit too high. It almost looked like a curve. Came in and then went out wide again. So she's just got to gain her confidence on these left-hand batters because there's enough of them in the Magpies team. See her roll it round. Oh, looks good, but unfortunately not good enough. Hence we've got a walk gone to 2. So Sarah Edwards stands at first base. Net comes up Ashley Scott, who's had a good tournament. She sets herself up. Let's see what she's got to get her Sarah around. Ball too high. That's a nice pop-up from the catcher, which is Araha Nawanoa. As she sets up for her next bat, let's see what she's got. And the first base, oh, we've got a nice little flick second base through to shortstop, and we've got a double play going out for Beals. Beautiful play, beautiful play. That was nice, quick thinking from the second baseman. Nice running from the shortstop to second, and then a quick flick through to one of the Bromheads on first base. So that is 2 out. Next we've got Freya Bullock, who again has had a nice couple of hits. Let's see what she does. Oh, and she goes for a strike but a foul ball. Just drops her shoulder a little bit, so it goes up high into the net. Let's see if Freya can get herself on base again today in this final game. Oh, she stands strongly, hits it out to Kayla Clark, who's at centre field, slightly fumbles it, but then we've got it back into second. So Freya sits nicely on first base. Next up in the batter's box is Alice Tessie. Now Alice plays out in left out. So let's see if she can get her teammate Freya Bullock around the diamond here today. She went out on her last bat, but let's see if she can stand up strong and get it around. I think if I can remember, it was a bunt, and the girls had gone on to her quickly, so let's see if she squares round again. Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah. Great. Okay, let's see what Freya, number 5, playing third base, does. Oh, she takes a big lead, which is great, but not sneak the ball. Alice Tessie, who is up in the batter's box right now. Actually, I'll take that back. Gillian Wills has been taken in. We've got another sneak, and she is safe on second. Safe on second. So we've got Gillian Wills sitting in here, number 44, designated hitter for Alice Tessie. Let's see what Gillian does. She hits a nice grounder. The shortstop fumbles it. Kayla Clarkson goes for throwing in, and she tries to pick her off on first. She is safe. But we've got fast wheels from Freya, which brings another woman in for a 6-0 lead over the Bears. Okay, so we've got Gillian sitting on first base, and we've now got Vivian Ma coming up She squares around. She goes for another pick off at second base, but it is safe. The Magpies are going to push this because they know that they can actually get it there. So until the catcher, which is Araha Noe, gets that round there, they're going to keep doing that all day. Squaring round. Oh, she tries to go for a bunt, but it was too high, and it deflects off into a foul ball. Vivian sits here now on a couple of strikes, so let's see what she does in terms of trying to get Gillian round now that Gillian's sitting in scoring position. She goes for a full swing, but not quite enough. It's a nip, and the catcher catches it. She looks over to her coach to see what the next sign is. What's the next step to advance her play around? Vivian's the bottom of the batting order here, so let's see. Harker turns around, she gives it a slap right through to third base, who throws her out at the Bromheads on one. So that is the third out for Magpies. And we are now sitting at 6-0 at the bottom of the third. We'll be right back.
The next big thing for Easton Fast Pitch has arrived. The Ghost has revolutionary double barrel technology with 2 full-length barrels constructed together.
Okay, here we go. We've got another designated hitter that has come in. Liv Craig. Let's little lady from Denmark. Let's see what she does. She's the first batter up here, and she gets a strike put on her. Puts a strike on her on the first one. Okay, she's now at the bottom of the batting order for Bears, so let's see if she can throw it out there. There's a nice eyes from Evie there. That was a ball that's just a little bit too high to get to, so she holds the bat back. She squares herself onto the plate. Let's see what Shannon does next. And it's a beautiful strike. That's a good fast string from Evie. Gets there, but just a little bit too late in terms of nice fast swing, but just doesn't connect up with the ball. Evie sets up. Let's see what Shaylin does. Throws it down, and it's a rise. So, but Evie gets onto it, but again, because it's got spin, it goes straight up into the net. So she's sitting on a foul ball. Evie sets up. We've got 2 strikes and 1 ball. Let's see how she goes. And it's a ball. Yeah, that was really low, and it stayed low. So we've got 2 and 2 sitting on Evie Craig, which is third baseman for Bears. Evie will do something on this pitch if it looks pretty. And it comes through, and it is a fast ball straight through the middle. Unfortunately, Evie gets done for a K. That's the first out for the Bears in the bottom of the third innings. We're now going back to the top of the lineup, and we've got number 7, Isha Hooper, which is playing second base. She had a nice out just before, and she's given it some, but it's just gone to left field in a foul position. Now she sets up her one strike and sees what the next step is. She really needs to get on base if we can, in terms of we don't want to be sitting in a mercy style situation. So rolls around, and that's a high ball which sits around about her shoulders, so she's nicely left that. We're sitting on one ball and one strike. Cheyenne sets up, she throws a ball down, beautiful strike, sits through to third base. Freya, who throws it over to the first baseman, Stephanie Terexa, and gets Aisha Hooper out. So we're now on 2 down for Bears. Next up in the batter's box is number 43, Tennille. She shies away. Seems like it's a little bit too close, and I think that might be right, considering it was a ball that was named up there. Tennille was able to get on bag before, so let's see if she can do it again. Comes through. She's looking at it, so she's sitting on 1 and 1. That was a nice piece of ball there, so it's interesting that she left that. Kept her hands back. It looks like she was piking up, standing her ground and giving herself a big on. And we've got 2 strikes now sitting on Tennille and 1 ball. She's got to do something with this. Let's see if she hits it strong or just slaps it out and gets a play in the infield. Coming through, too high. Nice leave. Tennille being a little bit shorter, obviously it makes it easy in terms of that box is a little bit tighter to be able to get her strike zone. Here we go. Tennille again leaves it. There's a bounce just after home plate, so she's sitting nicely now at a full house, I believe. Let's see what she does here. If it's a strike, she has to hit it. She has to get herself down to first base. Let's see what the next steps are, and if she can make a nice play. And she does. Stunt bunt style, but she's got wheels and she makes it to first base. Bears are ecstatic. We've got somebody sitting in a first base position now, which is fantastic. So the Magpies just weren't fast enough to get up to that ball, which just popped down below. So now we've got Tegan Bromhead, who sits at left field position. She's taken some nice catches already today, but let's hope she can start gunning them around. She sets up, but gives it a foul ball, just a little bit too late on that last pitch. So we've got strike 1 sitting on Tegan Bromhead. Tennille sets herself up. She's a good fast runner. She's got a good lead, but it'll be interesting to see if she comes back, because we do know Ashley's got a good strong arm, so could pick her off quite easily. Oh, that was a changer, and Tegan held back, but not enough. So she's sitting on 2 strikes now. They really want to be able to get Tennille round, because they need to get her into a scoring position if they want to hold this game out. Let's see what Tegan does. And off she goes. Tennille has taken round and she stands up nicely on second base. That was a good steal where Ashley didn't even throw the ball. I think she decided it was just easy enough to hold it up. So now that we've got Tennille in a really good position, let's see what Tegan does to advance her. And she gives it a one, but a little bit too late. Again, she's just sitting too far in there. I wonder if she goes to go later in the batter's box or get in early on that strike. If it comes in as an inside, she gets to get on it even earlier if she wants to get it into a really good position. So Tegan Bromhead faces another pitch. It's too low. So she's picked that nicely, actually. That was good discipline. Let's see what Shannon brings in on this next pitch. It's a good bat for Tegan Bromhead today. Let's see if she can rise above. Take a base. It's beautiful. Oh, but the wind takes it out to to right, and it's another foul ball. We could be here all day for this. Foul balls. She just has to get into it a little bit earlier, and she can take this. But that was strong and power. So let's see what she ends up doing for this next run. Tegan lines it up. Oh, it was a change up, but she held her hands back. Fortunately, it's a fly ball down to Kaleo. So that is side away for the Bears. We're now about to go into the top of the fourth, and we are sitting at 6-0 to the Magpies at the Bev Smith tournament here in Howick. We'll be right back.
DeMarini bats are...
Righto, we're back to the top of the fourth innings. Magpies first batter Kaleo Aldridge has just stepped up to bat. Now Kaleo's been able to get home most of her innings, so actually every at bat. So she's got the winner who said you need to be young to have wheels, eh? But look, let's see what she does here. Yeah, she went in for the lean in, but she should have been swinging her bat instead. So Kaleo sits on 1-1. We've got the Hope marker who is pitching at the moment. She's strong under 15s player. Oh, Kaleo turns to give it a slap but decides not to because it goes into the ground. So Hope's going to have to bring up that pitch a little bit more if she wants to get Kaleo to even have a look at that ball. So Kaleo is sitting at 2-1. She goes in for a run, but swings out of the way. She's sitting now on 2 balls and 2 strikes at the top of the fourth innings. Let's see what Hope brings down. Oh, it's got some heat. It looked good, but no, it's only a ball. So that means Kaleo gets a first base run. Now they're going to have to watch her because she's pretty cheeky. She takes advantage of getting to next bases. So Lisa Molden is now coming up. This is number 89, who's playing second base. She's strong, good batter. We'll see what she does. She stands strong, but it's a foul ball, making Kaleo go back to first base and her to stand up in the batter's box with 1 strike sitting on her. Lisa and Kaleo have been playing for a number of years together. She hits it straight to second, going for another double play, and we've got Kaleo out on 2, and Bromhead, one of the Bromheads, takes it cleanly, but Lisa Molden's just a little bit too fast. So Kaleo is the first out for the Magpies, and Lisa Molden sits nicely on first base. Next up in the batter's box is Stephanie Terexia. She is number 12 and is playing first base. Let's see. Oh, she hits it nicely to right field, but they're sitting too deep. Oh, she fumbles the ball, and Lisa Molden gets around to third base, and Stephanie Terexia is now on first. That was a nice play. If I was the Bears, I'd actually bring that in because it was the wind that held that up. So we've now got Shannon, who's the pitcher, who has come up to bat. She's really going to wanting to get Lisa Molden home, I'm assuming, but also get the first baseman round to second. So let's see what happens here. There's a pretty pitch that came in there from Howick. So we've got somebody in position on first and third. Maka sets another one up. That's a beautiful play. Nice. Bounces just inside. Lisa Molden hits, and she's in on that nice hit from Shannon. So we've now got a 7th person home for Magpies, and we've also got Stephanie Terexa sitting at second, and Shanae sitting up first. Sarah Edwards is up to play now. She is number 2 and plays in centre position. I only said Sarah Irwood because that's my sister. She definitely doesn't play softball. So let's see what another lefty does to... oh, that's a beautiful pitch right down the centre. If I was Sarah, I definitely would have given that a crack. But hey, look, she's obviously wanting to go deep in the count and see what young Hope can offer her later. Oh, another one, but she's too late in swinging, and she gets a half cut and sits off to a foul ball. One of the Bromheads takes it for Hope that she doesn't have to move too much. There is a great opportunity here for Hope to be able to strike out this dynamic Sarah Edwards player, but let's see. Oh, she goes for a fly ball, sits up highly to it's an infield fly anyway, but there's a nice catch. So the first and second runners hold up and sit there nicely. So that is a second out for Magpies. Next we've got is Ashley Scott, who's usually good at sending or get these girls around, but again, let's see what happens. We've got a force play going on here, so let's hope Ashley can get it down into the ground and push those players around, kind of force those errors from the Bears. Ashley sets up, Hope pitches it, and she goes for a cracking fly ball out to Kayla Clark, but she captures it nicely, and that's the third out for Magpies, and we are sitting nicely at 7-0 for Magpies as we go into the bottom of the 4th. We'll catch you soon.
Bats are made for the way you play, plain and simple. We've got a bat designed to work for you when it counts. Game time. With 22% stronger carbon fibers, the Paraflex composite barrel allows for even more precise weight distribution on the CF9 than ever before. We can put the weight closer to the handle for slappers, distribute it evenly along the barrel for contact hitters, or toward the end cap for power hitters. You should never have to settle for a bat designed for the masses. By building with this stronger composite, we can also use fewer materials. This makes for a lighter...
Right, welcome back to the Bev Smith final. We've got Bears against Magpies. It's a stunning lead for the Magpies here. They're sitting in a really, really confident position going into the bottom of the 4th innings. So we've got Michelle Fletcher, which is one of Bears' pitchers. One of 3 Bears pitchers going up. She gives it a good crack down the line drive, but unfortunately it's a foul ball. If she can project that out into the outfield, that'll be a nice hit, nice and strong. But let's see what Michelle does in this next pitch. She lines herself up, seeing what Shanann is going to pitch her in the next one, sitting on 1 strike. And she goes low, and it's a hit straight back to the pitcher, who catches it. Unfortunately, it was just reaching a little bit too far. If she'd just waited for it to come in, she might have got a bit more power to be able to blast it past the pitcher, but it just wasn't enough. Excellent. We've now got number 9, Rebecca Bromhead, who's the first baseman. Let's see if she can... Oh, there was a change up, but it was just a little bit too floaty. And Rebecca just sat nicely and let it float past her. Rebecca's sitting here on 1 ball. There's a bit of deliberation between Ashley and Shannon in terms of what pitch they're going to go to next. They couldn't quite nail it, so she's bringing itself back into place. Let's hope they know what pitch they're going to lay down the line now too. Let's see what Rebecca does with it. Oh, it's too low. Bounces off the backboards and back into Ashley's hands. So Rebecca's sitting comfortably on 2 balls. Right. Here we go. Here's another pitch coming through. And it's at a... Oh, that looked like a strike to me, but obviously it was too far outside. So Rebecca Bromhead sitting nicely on 3 balls. If I was her, I'd hold the bat up, see if she can get a walk. Otherwise, take the walk if it's there. Otherwise, start heading away. And she does. And nice decision to make. She's got a beautiful, comfortable first base run. And let's see if there's a great opportunity here to actually bust her around. So she's actually going to be designated running by Michaela Cross. This is the Wheels who I was talking about before. She's a nice shortstop player for the Bears, but then also for a number of age representative teams. So she knows how to run these bases. Kayla Clark sits up in the batter's box. Now she had a nice strike there, good, strong, but it was a little bit too high. She's got to bring that. She's got to bring that pitch down back into her zone. She feels comfortable and gets that power behind it to be able to send it. Let's hope she can put the spots on the areas here. And that was a drop ball, too low for Kayla. She's decided that she doesn't want that ball, so she's sitting on 1 ball and 1 strike. Rebecca Bromhead's designated runner sitting out there nicely. Michaela, she takes off and she's explosive. Oh, it's a foul ball, so makes all that energy no good. So Michaela Cross comes back to first base and Kayla sits on 2 strikes and 1 ball. Let's hope she can get that power in, get that direction around and hit it nice and safely into the fair ball gun. The pitcher has taken some time out just to regroup and think about what the next pitch is that she hits up Kayla Clark with. Pitches it down and Michaela crosses off. Does she make it? Oh, beautiful, beautiful slide in. And Lisa Molden just doesn't get there in time and ends up going backwards and slides down the same time Michaela does. So that was a beautiful steal for the Bears. And now the pressure's off Kayla. She's got a nice big bag out there waiting for her. All she's got to do is have a nice safe hit to be able to get into first base. Oh, there it is. Looks good. But unfortunately, it's another foul ball for Kayla Clark, the meatball. Can she take this? She's got this. She didn't have a successful last bat, so let's hope she can change that direction up and get herself on bag. She holds out. There was a nice play on Kayla. Good stuff. She held her hands back, made sure she didn't go for that. So she's now sitting at a full house position, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Let's see what she does next. This is a pressure play. Can she do it? Can she rise above? And she, oh, that's harsh. Harsh call coming from Rebecca, the umpire. It was a low ball. And Kayla thought she had it, but decided that it was actually going to be a strike. So that was okay. So that's 2 out for the Bears. Magpies are sitting comfortably. We have another debutante here who is also in the under 15s. And she's also in the under 17s as well. Tyann Bromhead Lamahu. Limalu. Just writing that down so I remember that for next time. So let's see what Tyann does for the bat here. She's actually batting for Araha, who's our catcher for Bears. Let's see if she can stand up and really give it some. Stands there nicely. Okay, that's a strike. It's okay. She knows where the ball's at now, so she's got to take some responsibility on this. Can she stand up in there and can she make the play? Can she advance Mickey round to third base? Let's see. Oh, that was a drop ball. That was nice. That was a good decision to make. So Tyann is now sitting on 1 ball and 1 strike. Let's see if she can make this happen and get Michaela closer to that home base. Sitting on 1 and 1, standing strong. Oh, it's a nice swing from Tyann, but unfortunately just nips it, and she's sitting down there on 2 strikes and 1 ball. Let's see what the next step is. Can she rise above, get connection with that ball? It's another debutante. Oh, she does a nice. Unfortunately, it's a fly ball that goes straight to Kaleo, who catches her out, which is the 3rd out. Even though Michaela has rounded into home plate, she doesn't get that run because we're now sitting on 3 out. So we're about to go into the 5th innings. Let's see what these girls do next in terms of this final for the Bev Smith. We'll be right back.
The next big thing for Easton Fast Pitch has arrived. The Ghost has revolutionary double barrel technology with 2 full-length barrels constructed together that essentially eliminates all vibration. The collision between the outer and inner barrel creates an explosive sound unlike anything you've heard before. The softer outer barrel has the lowest compression in the game for maximum performance right out of the wrapper. The Ghost. Are you ready to make the switch?
Rightio, we're now back at the top of the 5th innings. Magpies are into bat, and we've got Freya Bullock, who's a nice strong player that goes into bat. She's number 5 and also sitting in position 5, which is third base. A couple of spots that are coming down here, but we've got plenty of winds, so we're hoping that the weather gets taken through and we don't have to stop any play. We're just making a few minor adjustments to the scoreboard there. We've actually also got Tyler Morrison back in as pitching after her 3 innings break in terms of getting stuck back into it again. So here we go with Freiburg starting off. Nice big step. That was a beautiful pitch from Tyler. Not too sure why Freya didn't go for it, but at the end of the day, it's not the pitch that she wants. So let's see how she goes for the next run. Tyler throws it in. Oh, it's a bit of a low blow. Freya gets down low, but just not enough, early enough to be able to get projected out into the field. So that's a foul ball. So we're sitting there now on 2 strikes for Freya Bullock in the top of the 5th innings. She takes a step, and that's a nice big K Kyla Morrison. There's a reason she's been brought back in. This is fantastic. This is a great opportunity for these guys to rise above and get the first 3 batters out. So that is Freya Bullock, that is out. The next up is we've got Gillian Willis, who's number 44. It's a high ball. She's decided that she doesn't want a piece of it, so she lets that fly ball. Here comes Tyler again, seeing if she can just lower that ball a little bit and get it into the strike zone. It's almost a little bit too low now, so she's gone opposite ends of the spectrum. So 1 high ball, 1 low ball. Let's see what Gillian can do on the next round here. See if she can throw it right down. She sits it right down the middle. She slaps it through to the second baseman. But unfortunately, it goes off the back of her arm and deflects into centre field area. But look, Gillian sits nicely on second base as she was batting for Alice Tessie. We've now got a new batter in here, which is Shannon Young, which is number 13. Shannon Young is a new batter today. We haven't seen her in this, but she takes a big swing. She's a little bit too late. She's a tall player, so her strike zone's a little bit longer, and she's a bit disappointed in herself, but I'm sure she can regain her confidence and connect up with that ball. So Shannon is actually batting for Vivian Ma. Let's see, she goes for a fly ball again, another late swing. She's only got 1 strike left, so let's see what she can do in terms of getting her runner, Freya Bullock, who's sitting on first, around. Let's see what Cheyenne can do. She's sitting on 2 strikes. She goes for the step and she hits it up, but it's a fly ball that goes to another Bromhead sister that sits at third base, which catches her nicely. So that is second out for Magpies. Bears in a good position. They still have a force on 1. So let's see what the top of the batting order, Kaleo Aldridge, can do. She hits it, smacks it again to second base. Kayla Clark is running. She picks it up, throws it into second base, but we've got this player that's just come home. Freya has definitely, Gillian I should say, has definitely come home. So they've used that beautiful ball play to get their runner in first round, and Kaleo is now sitting on second base comfortably with that great hit through to second that was deflected off the back of the glove there. Good to see those Bears players getting up on the jump and getting in there fast. We've actually got a designated runner, number 23, Renee Booth, coming in for Kaleo. The body's just decided that she doesn't want to be running anymore, so I don't blame her because she's bloomin' old. I shouldn't say that because I'm sure she'll probably kick my butt. But hey, look, here we go. We've got another Lisa Molden coming up to bat. This is her 3rd bat here today. She's been in twice. She's been out once. So let's see if she can bust her player Renee Booth round from second base and get herself on first now that she's got a big fat badge sitting out there waiting for her. She sets herself up, looks for it. Tyler pitches in. Oh, she decides that she doesn't want it, but she actually gets hit on her leg. Tyler goes against that and says that she actually put her bat, the arms into the way of the pitch, but Rebecca, the umpire, is not having it. She said that she got hit by pitch, so Lisa will take a bag. So we've now got a force to 3. We've got Lisa on first. We've got Kaleo on second. Next we've got Stephanie Terexia, who plays first base. She's standing up there strong. That was an outside pitch. Just wasn't good enough. The height set right, but it was just too far off the plate. So let's see if Stephanie can bust these girls round. It's a nice force play. Tyler pulls it in again, but again too high. She's got a very confident rise ball on this, but sometimes it just goes a little bit too high. So she's not interested in that next pitch. Let's see what she throws down to Stephanie. Stephanie goes low. She takes it. Second baseman through into to Bromhead, and that's the third out for Magpies. So that is Stephanie Rexer that is out on first base. But they did get one run in, which was Gillian. So we are now at 8-0, and about to go into the bottom of the 5th innings. We'll be right back.
Bats are made for the way you play, plain and simple. We've got a bat designed to work for you when it counts. Game time. With 22% stronger carbon fibers, the Paraflex composite barrel allows for even more precise weight distribution on the CF9 than ever before. We can put the weight closer to the handle for slappers, distribute it evenly along the barrel for contact hitters.
Rightio, we're now at the bottom of the 5th innings. We've got Taylor Maxwell, number 17, who sits at right field for Bears, up into the batter's box. Let's see if she can get some momentum for the Bears team here. They haven't been able to score yet, so we'll see. Oh, nice strong, but it goes straight back to the pitcher, who then runs it through and lobs it into the first base, Stephanie. So unfortunately that isn't successful for Taylor Maxwell. She is the first out for Bears in this 5th innings. Next up we have number 13, Boo Quinn. Crikey, we're pulling all the stops out today. I'm running out of room. Boo Quinn is sitting in good position here. Let's see if they've brought her in to make an outstanding play here and get some people on base and bust some people round. That was that last pitch was a strike. It was pretty low, but it obviously sat on the plate really nicely. Let's see what Cheyenne pitches in next. It's a ground ball, bounces in front of the plate, so obviously Boo Quinn just leaves it nicely. So we've got 2 balls and 1 strike sitting on Boo Quinn, who is actually batting for Evie Craig. Shannon sits another one in. That's another ball. So she sits quietly and confidently with her decision not to strike at that last ball. Sitting on 2 and 2. The pitcher and catcher are happy with their decision on this next pitch. And comes down, beautiful pitch. Oh, it goes past 2 players and it's out in the outfield. That's fantastic. And then throws it into second. So making that swap play is a great idea. She's been able to get herself to first base, which now means Michaela Cross is sitting in a really good position on first base. So we're now back to the top of the batters batting lineup for Bears, and Aisha Hooper, number 7, who's playing second base, is up to bat. Now we've got Wheels on, we've been able to have Wheels out here all day for Bears, but just haven't been able to quite get her across home plate. So let's hope this is the time that they're going to get it made. So let's hope Aisha can bust Michaela round to second base position. Oh, she does a beautiful hit and right past left field. That is outstanding. She's running to the fence. We've got Michaela coming home. Aisha's cornering into third and she slides into third base. That was a miraculous hit. Outstanding. Magpies just weren't onto it enough to be able to get to that position. So outstanding to see Michaela home. That is Bears' first run in, and we are now sitting at 8-1 in the bottom of the 5th innings, which is awesome. Rightio, so Tennille's now sitting in a great position on third place. Let's see if Tegan can get her in. Oh, she steps up in the box and she gives it a good whack, but unfortunately it's just a foul ball. Tegan's ready to come home. She's amping. So let's hope Tegan can... Aisha is sitting on third. Let's hope Tegan can bust it around. She squares around, doesn't quite get it enough, and she's sitting now on a second foul ball. She doesn't have much room to play with now, so she's going to get really specific as she's going to hold any bat up for a ball that comes in. Tegan. Oh, here we go. Oh, she tries again, but unfortunately it just doesn't swing that bat around fast enough, and she's sitting now on her third foul ball. Here we go. Tegan's now... Tennille is now in there. Sorry. Tegan and Tennille, they're right after each other. It's just blowing my mind. But look, she decides that that ball wasn't one that she wanted, and she holds her bat back, which is fantastic. So she's now she sits on. Yeah, I've got to call whatever I want because she's stoked that she's on bag. But let's make sure that she gets there. She has a good look. That was a beautiful strike. Unfortunately for Tennille, that means for Tegan, sorry, that means that she is the second out. There is shit. Oh, I shouldn't say that out loud. Okay, here we go. Now that was, I just wanted to talk about that play that Ashley had made, tried to get a pick off onto Tennille on third, but didn't quite get there. Tennille was just too fast. So, Tegan, I've got this finally, is in the batter's box. She goes for a strike, but unfortunately fouls it off. Yeah. Because I'm stuffing myself. I'm going to get a real scorebook so I know what the hell I'm doing. And Aisha comes home, but unfortunately it's just not enough. Tegan gets out on third. But we do have a run which is scored in the fifth innings, which is fantastic. So we're now sitting at 8-1, about to go into the top of the sixth innings. Oh, and that is it. That is a ball game as the Magpies are just up a little bit too far. So, hey, look, thanks, guys, for listening to me. That was my first commentary of a game, and hopefully I didn't balls it up enough that we did well. Excellent. Thanks for your time, and Magpies are the winners of the Bev Smith tournament here at Howick Meadowlands. Thanks for listening. Oh, my